cliff like that.
We're thinking of the imitation.
But it's a straight leg no matter what.
It
still
the poster for
It does for some reason.
Right.
Where he's got
Vacation.
the tennis racket.
Yeah,
in his hands.
yeah.
Is it the
Oh, yeah.
vacation
Homage
poster we're
to
thinking of?
that, And
Oh,
It's,
weird.
Yeah,
Original
somebody else does,
poster.
and then they do
So-
that.
yeah, there's so many
And
people
she's
that have
got-
done that same homage.
I just love watching non-Mandela affected people try and figure out the Mandela effect, if it is the Mandela effect, but just try and figure out why their memories are so alternative, as they say. So I suppose I should explain. This is a poster of Star Wars as I remember it as a child. This is the poster that I had, and this is the poster that I had hanging in my playroom for all the world to see. And yet, for whatever reason, I remembered it wrong myself. Now, I'm thinking partly that since I hadn't seen it in so long, it might be just a glitch in my memory. But the fact of the matter is we're working on this theater piece. We wanted to work out a bit in one of the scenes where we had two of the actors pose, well, one of the actors and one of the actresses pose, like Princess Leia and Luke Skywalker did on the original poster. So we were going through the scene and the director kept saying, "You kneel at his feet." Basically, he thought his vision of this poster was always that Princess Leia was kneeling sideways at Luke's feet. And she kind of had her arms around his leg. And I kind of saw that too. And then another actor said, "Oh, and when you extend your leg, it's really going to give it the 1-2 punch and solidify that that's what you guys are doing." But the thing of it is she was never kneeling at Luke's feet sideways, holding on to his right leg. She wasn't doing that. She was standing in front of him with a gun, which now that I see this looks totally correct to me. But when he was describing it to me, I was like, yeah, I know exactly what pose you're talking about. And yet, it's on none of the original Star Wars movie posters for A New Hope. She's doing a kind of like a burlesque style thing right there. Da-na-na-na, come on and look at my leg. There was actually a sketch on the Gong Show from the 70s where this woman came out and she had this guy playing, I think it was keyboard, and she would just sing this song like, "Come on and look at my leg." It was so bad. I think she got gonged. But anyway, of course, a lot of these posters I haven't seen. But it was just weird. So the balance of that portion of the evening last night was us trying to figure out where in hell we got that image from. Now, again, what the funny thing was that most of these guys that I was talking about this stuff with are far bigger fans of Star Wars than I am, so you'd think that they would know, especially the director. But it seems that they do not. And the only thing that I could figure out where they got it from, was this. Because this is how I remember Princess Leia, or I remember thinking that Princess Leia was sitting next to Luke Skywalker, but in her white dress and kind of holding onto his leg. Not in a bikini, of course, but it was a pose like this that we remembered, and her leg was kind of extended, and that's how it was remembered. But it was so funny because the guys, when they saw what the poster was, because we all looked it up because we wanted to recreate it, they were like, no way, where did we get it? And so the rest of that conversation ensues as I documented it last night. It's pretty funny.
There's a poster like that, right?
Yeah.
Basically,
Chevy Chase has a tennis racket in his hand.
it's just like it's not
Yeah.
like they're not to scale, and like where is she standing? Like, it just doesn't make any sense.
And she's
like,
not even hugging his leg.
Yeah.
Where is she?
But it's also it's also of that same year, because there was a famous one where there's a dude with like a tiger behind him and a woman like posing the exact same. It's a very popular
Oh yeah, the
pose
vacation
in the
one.
year
Let's see.
1970.
The Griswolds.
There's a second movie like was it Fire and Ice?
So you really think
had
that was on the
very
It
poster?
was the
with
original one.
Oh, what's the original one?
Right, it was the original Vacation.
Yeah.
But anyway, the
This
joke's
is all
out.
Halloween
We all got
Vacation.
it.
Yeah, for some reason we all remember it wrong.
Well, it's just because it's hard to imagine, like when you actually look at it, like
we just don't know how they're actually situated because
Yeah,
they're in two different
I seem to
places.
remember that vacation poster too.
feel like I've
But
seen a
then
dozen
there's also
homages to
alternate
it.
spellings of
Oh, yeah.
Griswolds and
Where it's always slightly
Griswold,
different comes
just
to it.
Wald, W-A-L-D and W-O-L-D.
And I don't think it
And
was
they
that
spell it
original
A-L-D, but
to begin
then
with. I feel like there were so many
we go.
romance novels
okay.
and other movie
that
posters
one.
that
So
had it. Yeah, there it is.
There's that one. There's that one.
Okay. Let's see. Oh yeah, but that's the two kids. That's not his wife.
But they're
But the
sitting
wife
down.
is,
Then
has got her
there's
armor on.
this
the
one
side.
up here.
Conan was another
I
one
don't
that
know.
imitated it.
I don't know why, but see, I don't see us
There's one up-
confusing
up
this for
there.
the Star Wars poster. Is the thing.
There's one. That one there.
Yeah, that's the same.
They're all the same one.
Yep.
They're sitting down, right?
The European vacation imitates it, just with the kids.
Yeah, but the kids are on both of his legs.
But they're
That's the one.
But they're not. But they don't have their calves sticking out like we thought Princess
that
Leia
one
did.
does.
Yeah.
Oh wait, the girl does. Which
Yeah.
one?
Yeah. The girl.
The girl kind of does, but she's on the wrong side too.
But they're
Either.
they're both leaning on him. So that's probably why we think that.
There's a
They're making.
I recognize it, and I didn't think that because I wasn't a big
The
Vacation
imitators
fan.
made way more fun of it.
and it was an imitation. You know, there's Frank Fernetta used to do those kind of things where it was sort of that Conan-y type thing where the woman's like grabbing his leg as a big tiger or dragon.
Oh, yeah,
and
yeah,
then
fantasy
everybody
novel.
put it all over their vans as well.
Right.
Like that pose with with like a Viking instead, but it's always
Okay,
has the
well-
woman hugging her leg.
It still works
You know,
because we
it's
all
van
thought
art.
it was
Yeah.
that way. So
The audience will think it's that way
So-
too.
But the beat of like
yeah, extend the leg because then all of a sudden it looks like a pose too.
Wait, so she's on the other. She's on the wrong
He
side.
could just text me
I
a
can,
picture.
I can
No. This is different. So she's on the wrong side, but she's kind of still going. Da na 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 na. She's not like kneeling like what we thought. Now, are we sure it wasn't the Jabba the Hutt thing? When she's, it could have been in front when she's just sitting in front of the Jabba the Hutt thing. So, oh yeah, sorry, I'm done. But she's on the wrong side. What is this from? What's that
This
poster
is
from?
this is one of the original posters. It's actually from 1977.
Aaron, actually, do we need 10 anyway?
But it's not.
Any break?
But it's not a. But it doesn't look like it's one that was really. What do you call it?
Way
Like
over. Okay.
distributed, for the public. It doesn't seem.
No,
It was.
Um,
Okay. Interesting.